10 years ago, K-pop had a big three: SM, JYP, YG. Three companies that ran everything: the artists, the sound, the aesthetic, the money. If you weren't signed to one of them, you basically didn't exist. Then a small company with one group completely blew that up. BTS didn't just change K-pop, they changed what a K-pop company could even be worth. Big Hit went public, became HYBE, and suddenly we weren't talking about the big three anymore. But here's what nobody's really talking about in 2026. All four of these companies are going through something. HYBE is in the middle of a legal storm. SM just rebuilt itself from scratch. YG is sitting on a ticking clock. And JYP is quietly having the best run of its entire history and barely getting credit for it. So today, we're doing the ranking. Not based on who you stan, based on what's actually happening. Let's get into it.
Let's start with the biggest, because by pure size, it's not even close. HYBE makes more money than the other three combined. Their 2025 revenue hit approximately 2.65 trillion won. That is 1.85 billion US dollars from a K-pop company. And right now, they have the biggest card in the entire industry back in their hand. BTS are back. All 7 members discharged, March 2026 comeback confirmed. The entire industry paused for this. Analysts are calling it the single biggest revenue event in K-pop history. And HYBE is the company that gets to cash that check. Here's the number that matters. HYBE's operating profit margin in 2025 was 1.9%. That means for every 100 won they earned, they kept less than 2. JYP's margin is 18%, nearly 10 times higher. HYBE is generating record revenue and somehow barely holding on to any of it, and there's a reason for that. What happened inside HYBE over the last 2 years is a lot. In 2024, the CEO of their subsidiary, Adore, the label behind NewJeans, held a live press conference that the entire internet watched in real time. Minijin accused HYBE of copying her artists' concepts. HYBE accused her of trying to steal the company. It was the most dramatic corporate implosion in K-pop history, and it was entirely internal. One company eating itself. Then it kept going. NewJeans tried to terminate their contracts. Courts got involved. Then one member's contract was terminated by Adore directly. Then Minnie Heejin won a court ruling, and HYBE was ordered to pay her back. Then HYBE appealed. It is still going as of today, May 2026. And then, as if that wasn't enough, South Korean police are currently seeking an arrest warrant for HYBE's founder and chairman, Bang Si-hyuk. The allegation is stock fraud, claiming he told investors the company wouldn't go public while quietly selling shares to private equity. HYBE's headquarters was raided in 2025. HYBE is generating record revenue. BTS's comeback will make that even bigger. But when your chairman has a warrant out for his arrest and your most beloved subsidiary is in active litigation, that's not a company that's winning. That's a company that's surviving. YG is the most fascinating company on this list because YG is either in their best era or they are one contract renewal away from a complete identity crisis. And the answer depends on something that gets decided later this year. Let me explain the YG model. Every spike you see, that's a BLACKPINK comeback year. Every dip, that's a gap year. YG has always done fewer acts with bigger impact. No sprawling rosters, no constant comeback cycles. They bet on superstars. And when those superstars are active, YG wins. Hard. In Q3 2025, their concert revenue jumped over 1,500% year over year. Not 15%, 1,500. BLACKPINK had one of the biggest tours of 2025. They sold out Wembley Stadium twice, becoming the first K-pop girl group to ever headline it. The money was real. The cultural moment was real. But here's the thing. All 4 members of BLACKPINK, when their individual contracts came up, signed with someone else, not YG. Their own labels, their own management, their own deals. The group contract with YG is still in place, for now. But that deal is widely believed to be expiring in the second half of 2026. Deadline might be the most literal album title in K-pop history. And while we're talking about departures, Ongmu, one of YG's most beloved acts, left in late 2025 after 12 years. Quietly, without drama, they just built their own label and walked out. YG does have Baby Monster building momentum and Treasure with a new album coming. But right now, the entire company's future is sitting in a room somewhere, waiting for 4 women to decide whether they want to keep being BLACKPINK together under the YG banner. That is not a stable business model. That is a cliffhanger. SM Entertainment invented modern K-pop. Invented as in Lee Soo-man built the entire system. The training program, the group format, the global fandom model. Every company on this list is running a version of what SM figured out in the 90s. And then, in 2023, the man who built it all got pushed out. Kakao came in, Lee Soo-man left, and SM became the industry's biggest experiment. Can the machine keep running without the person who built it? So far, honestly, better than expected. aespa is having a genuine global moment. Rise is building steadily. The NCT universe keeps producing content across multiple units. Red Velvet hit their 10th anniversary and reminded everyone why they've always been elite. And then there's EXO. They came back in January 2026 with their 8th studio album, Reverse, their first release in 2.5 years, and it topped iTunes charts in 35 countries. The group that basically defined the third-gen boy group era is still moving units in 2026. But, and SM would not want me to focus on this, Reverse only had 6 members. Baekhyun, Chen, and Xiumin, collectively EXO-CBX, are locked in an ongoing contract dispute with SM. They're still promoting under an independent label. The lawsuit is still active as of right now, so even SM's comeback story has an asterisk on it. The roster is deep. The catalog is legendary. BoA just left after 25 years with the label. That's a generational era ending. No other K-pop company has 3 decades of hits the way SM does. The question isn't whether SM can survive Lee Soo-man leaving. The question is whether SM can create its next global superstar without him. JYP is the least dramatic story in this video. No police raids, no members in active lawsuits with their own company, no founder clinging to power. Just quietly, methodically, having the best run in company history. And somehow, they're still the most underrated of the 4. Now, technically, Park Jin-young just stepped down from JYP's board of directors in March 2026. But before anyone calls this a founder crisis, he's still the chief creative officer, still the largest shareholder at nearly 16%, and he stepped back voluntarily to take a government role co-chairing South Korea's Presidential Committee on Popular Culture Exchange. He didn't leave. He got promoted by the country. Now let's talk about why JYP is winning. Stray Kids just wrapped the biggest K-pop world tour ever done by a non-BTS act. Over 2 million people across 55 shows. They headlined the Governor's Ball in New York. They headlined Rock in Rio in Brazil. First K-pop group to headline either. Not BLACKPINK, not EXO. Stray Kids. Twice, a group that debuted in 2015 is currently selling out North American stadiums. Their This Is 4 World Tour grossed nearly $94 million from just the first 24 shows. A group in their 11th year performing at the commercial peak of their career. That almost never happens. And then there's Day 6. JYP's most underrated act, and arguably the most underreported story in all of K-pop right now. In 2025, they became the first Korean band to headline Koyang Stadium. They did a 45-city world tour. Their latest album was their career best in sales. JYP named them alongside Twice and Stray Kids as one of their 3 core revenue pillars. 3 flagship acts, all at their peaks, all in the same fiscal year. Here's what that looks like on paper, and you can see it right here. JYP's operating profit margin sits at around 18%. HYBE's is sitting at under 2%. Same industry, same year. JYP is making more per won earned than anyone else in the Big Four, by a significant margin. Park Jin-young built a company that earns more efficiently per artist than anyone else in this game. He just does it without making headlines. All right, here it is. Number 4.
YG Entertainment. Not because the music isn't great, not because BLACKPINK isn't iconic, but because a company whose entire future depends on a contract decision that hasn't happened yet is not a company that's winning. It's a company that's waiting. Number 3, HYBE. The revenue is real. BTS coming back is enormous. But you cannot be number 1 with an arrest warrant pending against your chairman and 2 years of internal war still bleeding into 2026. HYBE is massive. Massive and wounded.
Number 2, SM Entertainment. Rebuilt under pressure, still standing, roster deeper than anyone gives them credit for. SM is the comeback story of the Big Four, but they haven't finished writing it yet.
Number 1, JYP Entertainment. Stray Kids, Twice, Day 6. No drama, no lawsuits, no ticking clocks. Just the highest margins, the most globally ambitious expansion, and 3 flagship acts all performing at career peaks simultaneously. JYP wins 2026, quietly, efficiently, and without making a single headline about it. Now, I know some of you are already typing in the comments, and I want to hear it. Do you think HYBE bounces back now that BTS is fully active? Does YG survive if BLACKPINK walks? Is SM about to surprise everyone? Drop it below. Subscribe to Seoul Channel, and I'll see you in the next one.